Hi, my game name is Bjorn. I'm the one on the black tunic. My opponent's game name is Matosai, and he's the one on the yellow tunic. Just as a brief explanation, if you are unfamiliar, the game we are currently playing is called Amped Guard, which is a foam fighting combat system that is similar to Belagarth, Dagorhir, and shares cultural roots with SCA Heavy Rattan fighting. In this video, I want to talk about a series of things that happen in these two fights I have with Matosai. Matosai is a difficult fight for me, and part of that is because of his ability to capitalize on gambling and mistakes. For the most part, in the early engagement, I try to employ control of our range, but he lunge steps forward, and we engage in a series of strikes as I'm caught flat-footed. Neither of us managed to land a successful strike, so we disengage and reassess. I decide to take tempo and throw a fake to the knee in an attempt to get Matosai to either chop at my inside lane or to rapidly advance so I can either stab upward toward his torso or backhand the underside of his forearm with my blade. When he didn't take the bait, I immediately returned to guard so I wasn't caught flat-footed again. He immediately threw a flat cross opener, which I had a strong shield block for, and as he crossed my inside lane, I threw a successful chop to his outside arm. I allow him time to take his shield off, as this is just a friendly sparring session, and once he's ready, I re-engage. I felt confident knowing that Matosai was down an arm, and he was now using his non-dominant hand to fight with. I faked a lunge step forward and switched my footing so that I was now shield foot forward, with my intent being to flat snap his inside lane, and if he read my incoming shot, I would transition into a money shot or a dark side. However, I didn't employ my footwork correctly and threw statically, which Matosai took advantage of by stepping even further out of my range, letting me whiff the shot, and then chopping my now undefended shoulder. I was gambling that Matosai would either lunge to force a simultaneous kill, or that my initial range was still correct, despite changing my foot stance. Without hesitation, Matosai punished my untested theory, and I lost the fight for it. In the second engagement, we see something similar. I start by engaging my footwork with specific focus on trying to catch Matosai flat-footed while moving to his sword side, while also trying to keep range in mind, as I know he will capitalize on any minor error. He rotates with me. I throw a sword-side chop into his guard to elicit a response, which I'm hoping will lead me to a block striking engagement in which I can arc off of the terminal point of the engagement into a successful take of his arm, or a spinning money shot fadeaway to his left side hip or ribs. He throws a hard wrap to the outside of my sword side, which I block and return to his inside lane, whiffing some arm and body contact. He defensively spins away to gain some range as we disengage. Matosai sat his sword behind his shoulder, which usually is a tell that your opponent is going to either throw a cross or they're going to throw a hard wrap to the outside. I had to watch his feet in order to gain information, which was eventually revealed by how he straightened his shield foot and banked off a subtle feint into a shot aimed at my shield side shoulder. I had a strong read on the incoming cross, so I blocked it hard with my shield rim in order to disrupt his tempo, while I threw a successful outside chop to his sword arm, landing a hit. Once again, I allowed Matosai to drop his shield, and then I re-engaged him. This time, I chose not to stance switch, and attempted a subtle sword feint with the plan of forcing him to overblock so I could throw a dark side into his sword side outside lane. I immediately realized that I'd misjudged distance in the same way I had in the prior fight, as I whiffed my shot and panic moved my shield to block what I thought could have been a shield side wrap coming from Matosai. I gambled and opened my sword side arm, which he struck, and then immediately I was struck again by a follow-up leg shot, losing the fight for a second time. The point I'm trying to engage with is that even if we have done something well for the first portion of the fight, it doesn't mean that we can disengage and rely on guesswork for the finish. I'm an advocate of trying to be mindful of triangulation, mindfulness, and using terminal points, which is the fighting style that we've been developing for the past year or so internally within my fighting company. When I went back to panic or gamble reading, I surrendered my tempo and allowed my opponent to take advantage of my critical error. Anyway, I hope this was insightful to someone, and if you want to see more videos like this, give me a like, a comment, a follow, whatever. Anyway, don't forget how to vibe.